The road from Jerusalem to Jericho was well known, not long, but difficult, rocky, narrow, descending sharply through dry hills and exposed stone. It was a road shaped by centuries of footsteps, merchants, pilgrims, travelers moving between sacred space and ordinary life. It was also shaped by absence, by stretches where nothing moved, where sounds seemed to fall away, where the land offered no shelter and no witnesses. In places, it felt as if the world ended just a few steps ahead. It was not a safe road. Anyone who walked it knew that silence was not the only thing one might encounter there. There were bends where vision disappeared, places where help could not be seen from a distance, places where a person could fall and remain unseen. A man was traveling this road alone. We are not told his name. We are not told his purpose. We are not told his history. The story offers no details that will make him stand out. He could have been anyone. We are only told what happened to him. He was attacked, stripped of what he carried, beaten, left on the ground, not dead, but not fully alive, suspended between breath and silence, between the possibility of help and the risk of being forgotten, and the road returned to stillness. After some time, another man came down the same road, a priest, someone trained to notice what was sacred, someone accustomed to order, to boundaries, to distinctions, between clean and unclean, between permitted and forbidden, between what must be protected and what must be avoided. He saw the man lying there. The story does not say that he failed to notice him. It says that he saw him, and then he passed by on the other side. We are not told why. Perhaps he feared an ambush. Perhaps he believed stopping would place him in danger. Perhaps he was concerned about ritual purity. Perhaps he felt responsible for something else, somewhere else. Or perhaps he simply did not want this moment to interrupt the path he was already on. The road was long, and sometimes it feels easier to keep walking than to allow a moment to redirect us. Then another figure appeared, a Levite, a man associated with service, with structure, with the rhythms of religious life. Someone familiar with duty, but also with limitation. He too saw the wounded man. He came closer than the first, close enough to see, close enough to understand. He paused, and then he continued on his way. Again, no explanation is given. Maybe he hesitated long enough to feel the weight of the decision. Maybe he measured the cost in time, in safety and certainty. Maybe he believed compassion was admirable but not always required, and once more the road was empty. Finally, a third traveller approached, a Samaritan. For the original listeners, this detail mattered deeply. Samaritans were outsiders, distrusted, avoided. They shared the road, but not the story. If help were to come, this was the least expected source. And yet he stopped. He did not remain at a distance. He did not choose the safer side of the road. He came close enough to see what could no longer be ignored. The wounds, the blood, the vulnerability of a body left, exposed to time. He did not ask who the man was. He did not ask whether he deserved help. He did not wait for certainty. He acted. He bound the wounds. He used oil and wine, what he had with him. He placed the man on his own animal, slowing his journey to match the pace of suffering. He brought him to an inn. He stayed through the night, and when morning came, he paid, not knowing how long recovery would take, not knowing whether the man would survive, not knowing whether he would ever be thanked. He promised to return, and then he continued down the road. There is no applause at the end of this story, no recognition, no reward. There is only a road and a decision made when no one was watching. This story appears in only one gospel, the Gospel according to Luke. It is not spoken to a crowd, it is told in conversation. A lawyer asks a question: "Who is my neighbor?" Instead of a definition, he receives a story. A story that does not narrow the meaning of the word, but stretches it, until it no longer fits comfortably inside categories. Over time, this story travelled far beyond its first telling. Good Samaritan became a legal term, a principle in medicine, a reference in literature and film, a phrase woven into everyday language, often spoken quickly, casually, detached from dust and danger. We use the words without returning to the road itself, to the uncertainty, to the risk, to the moment when walking past would have been easier. Perhaps that is why the story still endures, because everyone recognizes that road. It is not always between Jerusalem and Jericho. Sometimes it is a hallway, sometimes a street, sometimes a message on a screen. And the question it leaves us with is not a moral instruction, it is an invitation to notice. Not whether we are good people, but whether we allow interruption, whether we stop when there is no audience, no certainty, no promise of return. And you, how do you read this story today?